Hello, everybody. Back for another episode of Noble Fates. We have a new update for you. I'm Matt. I have a cold, by the way, so if I cough a little bit, very sorry. And we're here with Chris. Chris has made just a little bit of this game. A lot of it turns out.
Just a little bit. Matt, don't give me your cold.
I put a mask on my microphone and on my Ethernet cable, so we'll be okay.
I put petroleum jelly in my ears.
Just a normal thing to
do. All right. Hey, we made an update. It's been this was a hard one. I'm not gonna lie, it took a little while, but we did it.
I assume that making dynamic flowing water is super easy in a giant game that does all these other things. So yeah, that could be why it took a little while.
Yeah, we we don't do things 50% around here. So we like to do them at least 80%. And so, people were like, "Hey, I dug this cool empty space around my base. It would be cool if it filled with water." Or they were like, "Oh, there's this cool lake over here. I dug holes next to it. Nothing happened except I could see through underneath the water and my immersion was ruined." And so, there were two versions of this. We are working our way towards 1.0, and the expedient version would be to maybe we're not making a water game, so maybe we just do like buckets to pick up water and fill the space, but we didn't do that. We instead made a water sim. And so we have flowing water, we have rivers, as you can see here. We have a new biome called the Riverlands, and we added a few new races to help bring life to it. And then Matt really, really, really wanted the game to have some form of power. And so then we added the water wheel and those little spinny cranks you see down there.
These little guys.
So yeah, that's the stuff. That's the main stuff. Oh, he's fishing down there.
Yeah, I think that's one of the halflings. Well, we should jump in and check this out.
Yeah, let's check it out.
Let's see here. All right, let's go to this wonderful little city.
Gallant Bed Reef.
Gallant Bed
Oh, look at this.
Got some new...
This is our new key art. It moves around a lot. Right now, the little halfling house is missing, which is probably troubling Matt, but that's okay. Every time you go through there, it's different. So, all right. So this is one of the new races. So I said we have Riverlands. If you want to just back up and fly around and look at this river a little bit. So the Riverlands get a river, and they're generally they're more mild than the wait, why didn't I build by this giant waterfall?
That's pretty cool.
But yeah, so they're generally milder than the forest, and they're much milder than the mountain. And then we made this cool river algorithm that starts, it's complicated, but it basically starts at one edge of the map, and it looks for the next low area to go, and it winds its way to that, and then just does that over and over to carve its way to the edge of the map, and then water flows. And we have Riverlands.
One thing that I think is so cool is that the water pressure is real. Like this flow is actually occurring, and it's actually conveying, what's going on with the water. Chris, kind of as you'd said before, we could have just done it where just kind of filled in the next tile and the next tile or whatever. But having this actual flow simulation is so cool.
Yeah, we wanted. First, it was okay, lakes. We got lakes moving around, and then we're like, well, we have to have a river, and so then we did the river, but it took forever. The water didn't want to go to the other. So we use a simulation technique that basically treats each tile as a bucket and moves water from one tile to the next tile to the next tile to the next tile. And the downside to that approach is that that approach is mainly it's a cellular automata, and it's mainly built to level out the water. Oh, look at all the whites kick on. it's mainly built to level the water out over time. But when you're doing something like a river, it doesn't really level out over time. It's flowing somewhere. And so we augmented the cellular automata with a flow simulation that we run over the top of it. And so we, based on how big the inlet is when the river enters the map, we track the amount of water that would come through there every minute in the game. And then we make sure that amount of water goes through to the other edge of the map. And if you block the river, that amount of water is going to start filling up the space. And so, if your outlet is smaller than your inlet, you're going to be at a net gain of water, and slowly you will flood over time, starting at the lowest area. Or if you widen the inlet, same thing will happen. You'll basically be at a extra positive. But during map generation, we simulate hundreds of years passing and the genesis of mortal kind and the creation of the first tree and the flow of this river to the edge of the map. Look how blue your camera is right now from this.
Oh my goodness! Wow, I'm getting very illuminated by the water. And there's fish too now. Look at these little fish.
Oh, there's fish in there.
There's fish.
Yeah, so we added the Riverlands, and we're like, what race do we want to add to the game? And we decided to lean like further into the high fantasy, and so we added halflings.
The halfling.
And you can probably tell by these little dens that these are little halfling dens, as you might expect from other popular high fantasy media. And so this is what I think a halfling kingdom would look like. And so, I threw this together both for the main scene and just so we have something to poke at and look at. But basically it's like, the intersection between our traditional buildings and building system and terraforming and dirt. Like they don't live all the way underground. They like to go outside and plant and forage and fish and raise animals. And but they like a little dirt above their heads. It feels safe when there's a little dirt over their head. And so we have these little cubbies that they dig in. And then Matt made these super sick doors.
Look at these little halflings. Oh, and most importantly though, the halflings have hairy feet and they don't need to wear shoes, which is very crucial.
That's right. They're actually incompatible with shoes, and they don't like shoes. There's like some, latent, undiagnosed jealousy or something, but they're not very, very likable of shoes. So, if you're not familiar with Noble Fates, our game has like a rich simulation of all the opinions that every mortal has. A big part of running a kingdom is finding people that are compatible with your kingdom and managing their opinions. We actually have this belief system that you use to steer them all in the same direction. And actually, while we're on this subject, we revisited the opinions this time. So we wanted to flesh out the ranching system and the farming system as we're, heading towards 1.0, and this is the perfect time to do it. And one thing that was really preventing us from adding more animals was the ridiculous number of opinions that existed, because they had basically for every animal type, they had an opinion about its raw meat and its cooked meat and its hide and its leather. And so, we like the nuance of them caring about the different sources of those things, but it didn't really make sense for them to have a strong opinion about raw rabbit versus cooked rabbit. That rabbit's following that dude around.
He's going.
Sick. I love our game.
This little guy.
See you later, dude.
It's an old rabbit, 6 years old. Jeez.
Yeah, that rabbit's halfway through its journey in Noberia. It'll make a nice rabbit steak. So anyway, we revisited the opinions, and now, he's got another one.
He's setting up camp.
We revisited the opinions, and now mortals have an opinion about the meat type of an animal and the hide type of an animal. And then separately, they have an opinion about raw versus cooked meat. And it simplified things, cut the opinions in half, allowed us to add a bunch more races and animals. And so here we go.
I see that. Likes wolves, likes deer meat. The liking or disliking of raw is elsewhere.
Yeah, it's in there somewhere. So when they go to eat a raw deer steak, when they go to eat deer, if they don't like raw deer, they'll avoid raw deer and go for the cooked deer, and or vice versa. But as before, we have the belief system. So if you go down to the bottom of the screen and click on the beliefs, yeah, if you scroll down in here, you'll have meat and skins for each type. And then if you go further down, there's meat preparation. There you go, cooked and raw. And if you expand that, you'll actually see your whole kingdom. So I love this about our game. So you can get kind of the 10,000 foot view of your kingdom. And so here, those dots is where each person's opinion is on the spectrum. And then you can choose to preach to just specific people or preach all up. So like if Pippa there didn't like your ruler because your ruler likes raw meat and Pippa doesn't or whatever, come in here and you can lower your ruler's opinion of raw meat by preaching to them about it or raise Pippa's, and that'll solve that problem. So generally, you can kind of navigate this and kind of customize your kingdom to suit. And so I use this to role play. Like I generally like to start with whatever beliefs my ruler has and then key off of those and then flush in the whole kingdom around it. And now that we have advanced ranching, now that we have advanced farming and richer foraging, you can really build your whole kingdom around it. It's super sick.
Chris, tell me about how farming has changed.
Yeah, so we set out to make this water simulation and we're like, okay, well, what do we do with farming? Hey, maybe farms should require water now. And so if you click on one of the farms, this kingdom doesn't have a lot of farms, but like there's that, not the flower one. Go to there's pumpkin ones in front of the houses to the top. Yeah, click pumpkins. One of those ones. The ones that have nothing or, yeah, to the right. Yeah, the corn one's fine. Okay. So if you click this one, this is a corn farm. And so over here, you'll see, hey, there's a water command. And down bottom on that list, you can choose how frequently they water it. And so now crops need to be watered. They can get watered by the rain. They can get watered by the soil naturally will hold some amount of moisture from the air. Or they can get watered by your people. And there's a new prop for that. If you go into the build menu, I don't think this map actually has one yet, but if you go into the build, it does actually. It's down on the top.
Right here.
Yeah. There's this new prop that Matt made that's a bucket station. And so it's basically, it's like a crafting station, except you set how many water buckets you want to keep on hand. And your farmers will go and collect water from the nearby water source. It has to be placed near a water source. And then they'll use it to water your crops. And that, that'll grow good crops. Your crops now depend on water. When they're watered, they will grow faster. And they can keep it up by manually watering this way. But, that's kind of a pain. Like, you don't always want to be hauling water back and forth and stuff. So we added pumps and we added pipes and we added the ability to move water. And so this kingdom's actually interesting because if you go down in the sliced view so you can see that water,
wow.
Yeah. So the pumps down in the water there. So this is a flowing river and the river's pretty deep. And so we didn't want to carve out all this land or whatever. So we decided to just pump the water where we needed it to go. And so we've got 3 pumps down there in the water. And those pumps are being driven off of 2 different power sources. One is the water wheel that's just above them. And I'm going to be honest with you, the water wheel could be in the river and it would be more effective. Like you can see, you're just getting a small amount of flow through there, but it looks way cooler there. And so I chose to put it there. But if it was in the river, like if you hover over one of the river tiles, you'll see on the bottom right now the amount of water flow.
Oh yeah,
there's
100.
Like new cursor information over there. If you hit F8 real quick, Matt, to turn off debug. Yeah, there we go. There's just the cursor information in the bottom right there. And it'll tell you how much water there is at that spot, the water flow, the soil moisture, the light, the temperature at that spot. And so you can use that to kind of find a good spot to put your water wheel to generate water, to cranks off of the water. And, so down there you're getting like 50 or 68, it looks like. But if you go up in that little channel where the water wheels, I think it's only like 10 or something. Yeah. So
Yeah.
that's limited by the amount of force that the pumps are able to generate by pumping water up in there and it flowing back down in here. And realistically, I mean, it takes like, to match the power of Mother Nature and like a flowing river, you need like strong pumps. So it makes sense. It makes sense that, pump fed water isn't going to be as good. But yeah, so this is our other power source. So if you go up this whole tower here, Matt made these super cool wind cranks.
It's a hybrid power system, you might say.
Yeah, and so so we like to have fun names for everything in our world, and so we call power cranks because it's kind of like our version of horsepower. Like one crank is the 10 cranks is the amount of power that a mortal can generate by turning a hand crank. And so, everything is relative to that. So wind cranks and water cranks and hand cranks all drive the crank system. And we wanted to like keep the power system grounded in like, what you would expect to be doable in this world. And that's why we came up with the little power crank pipes that you see, the crankshafts, because it's all based on the way like windmills work and milling places. And we had this cool idea to use our pipe system and generate these. Matt made these cool little
These are fun to make.
crankshafts, and you use the pipe system, drag them, draw and connect them. Anything connected to it will be powered off of it, and then it'll draw power from the power sources. And it's a little loose intentionally. We don't want you to have to spend your days micromanaging the amount of cranks and stuff. That's not our game. Generally, we want you to, it to be an engineering problem for you to solve at some point during your save, and then until you need more cranks, you're good. And so, this wind power, these wind cranks and that water crank down there, I don't know, I can't see how much it's generating, but it's enough to run a decent number of stuff. And that's actually the other cool thing about the way our system works and what makes it unique is that given that this is like manual turning, it's rotational force that's driving everything, it doesn't just stop if there's not enough. Everything slows down. And so if you go down underground, you'll see where these cranks are going. And I love that they physically have to travel, right? So like the cranks are going through this channel that I made underground. Then they come out in the water, and this is kind of our sewer system where we drive everything around. And then somewhere, I think if you go back like halfway, the cranks branch off. Maybe a little. Oh yeah. They go up actually. Go up a layer.
Oh, I see. I see right here. Yep.
Yeah, they go up a level and then go in there, and that's going into where we do our manufacturing.
Oh.
And so that's the other new thing. So crafting is cool in our game. It's fun to craft gear, but it wasn't the best to have your people stand around and spend all their time making stone blocks so you could make a cool castle. And so we introduced manufacturing. And so once you get to the point where you have cranks, you hook your crankshafts up into one of these three new props or all three, and you can generate stone blocks over time from cranks, or fabric using the new loom, or you can generate planks using the new lumber using the new lumber mill. And so this actually gave us like kind of a nice way to segment to the upper tier of building, to the upper tier of clothing crafting by this. And you can actually craft all those same things at the workbench, but it's terribly inefficient. It's much less efficient. So really, by the time you get to the end game and you're going to be building a castle or building high-end wood props or stone props or whatever, you're going to want to have some source of cranks, and it can be hand cranks to start, feeding into one of these guys and then drive it. And then the other thing it does is if you look down, go back to that hallway in the background, the maintenance shaft, you'll see those cranks going into our fridge. and plugging into what was previously our advanced cooler. So we had this advanced cooler and it was spinning in response to the magic of the frost caps, and we were like, wow, I love like when we get to tie everything together and it's like, oh, we have this spinny thing, we have these spinny cranks now, and so cranks now drive the frost cap cooler, the advanced frost cap cooler. The basic one that doesn't have a fan will work without it. It's just much less efficient. But if you want like an endgame freezer, you'll drive cranks into your advanced frost cap cooler. It'll keep it cool, and then you're solved as long as you've got cranks coming in.
These are some. It's keeping it really cold in here. This is getting freezer burn, I think.
Oh, it looks like Balthor is freezer burn in there.
He's on ice right now.
Yeah, we haven't decided what to do with him yet.
I think I saw in the base that there. Did you start off with a hand crank? Maybe.
So that's actually a funny thing. So we can actually try this. It might not work because I've lopped so much stuff on. But so one interesting thing about this was when you're first starting out with like an artificial source of flowing water like this, where we're pumping water and then using the flow generated by the pumped water to generate cranks, is that the water's not flowing at the start. And so what happens is you need a way to kickstart it. It's a little motor.
Yeah.
And so you add the hand crank. Your people come and turn the hand crank to start it, basically. Turning the hand crank starts the pumps feeding water in. The pumps feeding water in then starts turning the water crank, and then your engine is running. But if it ever gets stopped for some reason, like, if the pumps go dry, like if you actually disconnect the shaft going back from here and segment it from like all the stuff that happens behind this.
Oh,
so like down in the maintenance tunnel that's flooded, just disconnect one of those. You can just check one of the boxes on it.
All right.
So those two power sources of power are segmented now.
Oh yeah, it's slowing.
Yeah, and so like if you click on that side, yeah, see, perfect. So that side has 39 cranks. That's coming, and if you hover over it, it'll tell you it's coming from the wind cranks. Wind crank times 4 is generating 61. By the way, the wind cranks vary over time. They vary based on the season. They vary based on how high they are. They're not always reliable to give you like a constant amount of cranks, like a water crank in the river will. But yeah, you're right. The network spins based on the amount of cranks that are pumping through it, which I love. And so if you go look at the ones to the right now, the water one. So that one is only generating 17. So let's just break this real quick and let's see if we can get it going again. So disconnect the cranks from the water crank real quick, and it's going to break everything.
From the water crank or from, sorry,
the water wheel.
Yes, right here. Here we go.
Yeah, see where they're going into that? Just pop the, it's probably, it's easier if you go down and sliced. It's probably the neg Z, and then you can leave the other two on, the pos X and neg X. So you've disconnected that now. So what's going to happen is, and then go to the hand crank up there. Yes, have that person stop. If you click on the hand crank, you can actually uncheck the turn box. So this is all going to stop, and it's going to stop the flow of water in our base. Because all of this flow is based on the pumps down there. If you click on the pumps, oh look, they stopped. And so they don't have any cranks anymore. And then if you go back up into the maintenance shaft, up in our base, and look, the water levels should all be lowering. Now, the flow of water, like I said, this unnatural flow of water takes longer than the river flow. Like, it doesn't have the amount of force behind it that the river one does. But if you hover over one of those tiles, that water level should be slowly lowering. It may actually be raising, like it may be maintaining itself slightly because it's raining outside. So that's another thing about our game.
Oh, yeah.
When you have water that's not part of a river like this, we've now segmented our water. When rain touches those spots, it's going to add water to it. And so, on maps where you have lakes that aren't connected to the edge of the map or whatever, as long as you don't use that water down below 50%, the rain will refill it up to a manageable level. But yeah, so basically the water over this is going to drain over time. It's going to take a while. It's going to take a long time for this to drain. But once that drained, then we wouldn't be able to start the power system back up, the pumps. So those pumps down there aren't working right now. And so if you click, I think, how much power is your water crank generating right now?
Only 3.5.
Yeah, so if you reconnect that, I don't even know if that's enough to be self-sustaining for the pumps. So you're going to see the crank start turning again once it locks in. And then the pumps will start going. Oh, you're getting raided.
I hear fighting.
Attacked. If you click on the crankshafts.
Oh, okay.
Oh, let's fight.
I just have to look really quick. Oh no.
Oh my, Matt.
What has happened?
Okay, enlist everybody. They ambushed us.
Wow. They must have snuck in.
By the way, this is a thing that can happen when you're on hard mode, which this kingdom is. You can get unannounced raids, which means they'll show up and ambush you somewhere in your base. Now, they still walked in from the edge of the map. So if we had ballistas with guards stationed in them, we would have spotted them before. But they were able to sneak all the way into our tavern and into our sleeping quarters. So where do we want to go to try to defend? Maybe the bridge?
Yeah,
Should we make a last stand on the bridge? They'll come out here and fight us.
This does seem very last standy in terms of what we're going up against.
Oh, we're in trouble here. Okay.
We should have set up some more traps. Oh my gosh.
I would keep your ranged people up top and then put your melee people in front of the bridge so your ranged people can shoot down at them. Like maybe even down bottom. Oh wait, you could put them down on the docks. I don't know if you'll get them to fight you down there though.
I don't even know. I don't know if I have time.
If you pull your ranged people up to the edge of the, you might have to do it individually so you can station them. But if you get them on the front, the leading edge, they'll be able to shoot down on them. We can fight this off for sure. We'll be good.
There's a lot of
like to, on my melee people, put them on push, so they're allowed to push down into. That way they don't hold their position. Oh my goodness.
My confidence is not high. Look at, oh my gosh.
This is what happens. So hobbits, halflings have beep have diminished fighting skill. They've traded their skills. If you pause real quick and click on one of your halflings,
let's see, Brombo here.
Over their abilities, look at their sweet innate ability icon, which is a halfling with scruffy hair. So they don't equip feet gear. They live 1 1/3 as long as humans, which means they earn less XP because it spreads out their potential across their life. But they're good. They're the only race in our game that is good at 3 things and bad at 2 things. It just so happens that they're bad at melee and ranged. And so, you generally don't want to go picking fights if you have a halfling kingdom. But you're good at living off the land. They're good at foraging, ranching, and they're good at making many meals and cooking. And so if you have a mixed kingdom, then your kingdom will make use of them in terms of cooking and in terms of ranching. And so Matt might die here, but let's real quick while this is paused, let's go look at ranching real quick.
Oh yes.
Before we leave this kingdom. So ranching has also gotten revisited in this update, and we've added 5 new animal types.
Squirrels, rabbits, raccoons, guinea pigs, and sheep.
And squirrels.
And squirrels.
And so five new animal types. Each of them has strengths and weaknesses. Sheep produce wool, And wool and cotton in our game are interchangeable now. So you can farm and grow cotton or forage cotton, or you can raise sheep and uh, shear them for wool. And when you do so, then those are interchangeable as fibers now, which go into basic cloth gear and late game cloth gear. But then, yeah, the
Ooh,
other
got a
animal
balloon.
types. So squirrels and raccoons can climb vertical surfaces. They don't need ropes. So they're kind of interesting. Like, if you get a rabid squirrel attack, they're going to climb your towers and attack you up there. Yeah, there's some squirrels over here. Is it sleeping? I love when
Oh,
they're
it's a little
sleeping.
sleepy squirrel.
It is. That's my
Having a little
favorite.
sleepies. Here's an
And
awake
then
squirrel.
there's also uh, raccoons. So raccoons are omnivores. Raccoons eat all the food, and they actually can come like wolf packs. So if you aren't careful, raccoons will show up and did you drive the raid off? They left.
It looks like
They're
so.
leaving.
Okay.
Yeah, since it
Okay.
wasn't look at these stairs.
Oh my gosh. Well,
Well,
we won't have to paint him any color but red anymore, probably.
we could use water to clean this mess up real quick.
Should I debug some water in?
No, we can run a pipe up from the pumps.
Oh yeah, right here. Okay, let's do it.
Yeah, so you'll flood a little bit, but it'll be okay.
I am going to cheat a little bit here just to build a little faster.
So there's a new water menu where the pipes and gates and pumps and valves are.
Oh, I'll go up. And this is a tricky little spot. Okay.
You dump it all the way at the top of the stairs. It should flood down here and then
That's funny.
come
Let's
over.
do it. Okay.
So what's cool is debris dissolves in water. I think we need to did we turn the water crank back on or reconnect it? We did.
I think the pumps are still.
The power's.
Yeah.
Are the pumps going right now?
They are not. They're getting no cranks. Here, that's
Yeah,
fine.
so if you click on the crank, so one thing that can happen is we don't have enough power going through there right now. If you click on the crankshafts on the other side,
Yeah.
and hover over the cranks, we don't have enough cranks going. Hover over the cranks in the right. We don't have enough. There's a minimum amount necessary in order to turn the crankshafts, and so this is where our hand crank will come into play. So if you go back up there to your hand crank. And mark it for turn, and then you can probably tell someone to go down there and turn it.
Turn it. Priority. Gosh, I love just a quality of life thing. I love so much Noble Fates, the rush command.
Yeah.
Although I guess all my people are enlisted right now.
Oh yeah.
All right, people. You don't need to be enlisted.
I like how we survived that fight.
Yeah, I accidentally hit play to look at the squirrels, and it turns out they're able to do okay in the meantime.
Yeah, you might have to order someone to go and do this. But what's cool is we'll watch the cranks will go up once they start. So they're going to turn that crank. Look at the crank started spinning. It was enough to turn the pumps on. The pumps are dumping. Look at this. So the other cool thing that happens in response to water is that I was wrong, by the way. It took a smarter path than I expected, and it's going out all the way. So we might have to dump another pipe off down there to. What I love is that the water just comes out of whatever connections you make off of the pipe and then comes down. So also debris like the blood, if you click on one of those piles of blood, yeah, so dissolves in 3 days now. So anytime you have debris, so like after a big fight like this, yeah, you could just wash your base like this. Just give her a quick power wash for a couple of hours a day or something. It'll clean it out. Plus, the other bonus is that person that's laying under the water down there, I think they're going to drown.
Let's see. Oh, yeah. Let's see.
So if you go to their vitals.
Status.
Oh, they're in low water. Okay, there's enough air. There's enough air. We would have to box it in.
This makes me want to make
they're not gonna drown,
a gladiator pit, though, that I can, have fights and then just clean it all out afterwards.
Yeah. Look at how cool the water is. I love that it follows the terrain and everything. And so this is going to clean the blood up. This will clean up after this fight. We can see the piles are slowly getting smaller and dissipating. And so you can make use of this. So two other things. Two two other things.
Oh,
One other thing.
we lost power
So
somehow.
high elves. So
Yes.
we went into this world of having high fantasy and halflings, and we're like, okay, we have our bright pink elves, bright pink and purple elves. What if we have more traditional high fantasy elves as well? We'll call those the high elves. And then the existing elves, it turns out, are actually from the deep underground, and they're evil by nature. And look at that pile of bodies being carried, by the way. It's some efficient hauling. Someone died in. Oh, because the ambush started in here.
Oh yeah. Gosh. Well, they're gonna cool down.
We store bodies in the freezer.
I think when we cut power, we actually lost our freezing for a while.
It's not getting enough water.
Oh yeah, look at that. It's not.
Yeah, I think it's affecting our. So yeah, let's hook our power back up so we can hit maximum efficiency. But yeah, so we added high elves, and so the high elves, it turns out the high elves don't like. They showed up on the shores of Noberia, and they're like, "Wait, is everyone just pooing everywhere? Why is there poo everywhere?" And they saw that there's water now. They saw that we've got the addition of pipes and pumps, and we can move water. And so they brought with them the invention of manners and managing your sanitation. And so if we go down into our someone just dumped water there. That's why water was there. Oh, someone just watered that crop right there.
That's funny.
It's gone now. Oh, they're watering the crop in the thing. I love that just happens. Yeah, they're watering them all. So we have sanitation now. So in the upper level of the tavern, you'll see there's two new props in there. They are little tiny chamber pots.
Yeah, it's right
here.
And
so these chamber pots, mortals will use this to go to the restroom. They'll queue up for it. You want to have these wherever they're working, wherever they're sleeping. You put these in their private quarters. This is your starting solution to this problem. And basically what happens is it takes half as long to clean up as the piles loose on the floor. It's concentrated in one spot, and the effects on their need for cleanliness is half as strong. And so it's, it really improves kind of the quality of life. But the high elves took it one step further when they saw this water everywhere, and they invented the privy. And so if you go down one level, look at these little privies in here. And so we have little bathrooms, little holes in the floor, and if you look what's going on below this floor, it goes right down into our water channel. And so we have sewer systems. And so
Nala needs to show?
No.
Maybe not. Yeah, they just, it's whatever. It's you can't. Oh, I guess you could debug make someone.
Let's see.
Through the magic of television.
Let's see, poo.
Yeah, so if you follow Vapo for a second, we're gonna carry some food around, make tracks. Done cooking some meals. Yeah, store those in the fridge. And then and then if you go down below,
I think
it's gonna punch through by the power of the privy. See it happen.
It's coming. It's coming. Oh, there it was. All right.
By the power of the privy, the poo is down in the water, and lo and behold, it just dissolves in 40 minutes. No cleaning necessary.
Beautiful.
Amazing. And so, so this is like a later stage kind of level of technology. And what I love about it is you route power, you route cranks around to get improved crafting, manufacturing, cooling, and then you route water around in order to get sanitation. And so if you go look at the houses, Matt, I actually punched a little hole down to the sewer system and put a privy in each house. And so every halfling's private quarters here has their own little privy punching straight down into the sewer system.
I mean, I don't think I'd mind living here, it turns out.
Yeah, nice. It dissolves over time. This is some high-tech halfling living right here.
Roll. Die.
Oh, no.
Die.
Oh, my gosh, we're getting raided again.
Oh, it's much smaller though. Oh, never mind. It's not much smaller.
Okay, you have a better chance of preparing yourself.
It's a bunch of halflings that are coming. Wow.
Oh, there's a young one.
Yeah, is this a kid?
I think it's a
bio age 13.
Sometimes you'll get lucky if you click on that juvenile and then click their family tree. Sometimes the ruler will send their one of their children to prove themselves. Oh, it's a rando. But sometimes they'll send one of their children to prove themselves, so you get a real chance to make them upset.
Well, should we go to our next save, perhaps?
Yeah, I think that's a good time to transition. So this is a halfling kingdom, pretty far along, making use of all the new stuff. Let's go check out the other one.
And who knows what will happen?
Yeah, we don't know.
All right.
We'll talk a little bit more about ranching in this other one because I set up a breeding program. Okay, look, see, it's different again.
We're still missing our house, though.
It's coming. It'll be there next time.
It's over there, I think.
Yeah, it's to the left. I don't. There's something about changing it up, keeps it fresh. I like it. Well, yeah. So we have better sanitation, better farming, and now we're going to show you better ranching. And so if you go over to the middle of my base, so I made this cool bridge over the water. So by the way, pathfinding has been upgraded, so they can swim through water. They prefer not to go through water if they can, so they'll try to avoid it. So anytime you see someone cross here, they're going to take that little bridge. And then in addition, they prefer to follow paths and floors now. And so you can see I've got these paths going around my base. And so they end up sticking to the paths, and it creates kind of a more organized movement through my base. So I'm playing with some of the more advanced types of farming. So if you cut down below here, you'll see that I harnessed the river and flooded that channel there. I've got a water gate that I use to flood this farm here to the left. And if you click on any of those crops there, so they have a water need, a light need, temperature need. Their growth rate down bottom is based on how satisfied those things are. And like I said before, that's based on the different crops types. To the right, you'll see I've got a meal bean farm. This one's interesting because if you go up a layer, this one's actually entirely indoors.
Oh.
And so with this update, you can actually farm indoors now. And so, through the power of fantasy, noble fates, any form of lighting will work, although it's not very efficient. If you click on one of those crops, you'll see that their light need is it's only 22%. They're not outside, so they're not getting the benefits of all the lighting. However, their temperature need is going to be stable. Their water is going to be stable if you keep water coming in. You can see I've got a fire pit in there to keep it warm. And so this means I can farm year round in here.
That's nice.
And then if you leverage that little water gate there, you can choose the amount of water that gets let through. So, before you get to pumps, before you get to cranks, you can actually just open up water gates and it'll let water come through into your farm. And as long as you let less than 50% in, it will evaporate over time and soak into the soil. If you let more than 50% in, that's too much water to evaporate. And so that water is going to stay there. And you'll have to pump it out. You can dig out the ground to move it to other areas. You can flood somewhere. You can take it to the edge of the map. So if you don't want this river, you can dam it and all the water will leave. And you can, have a dead river if you want in your map. Wow. And so, you can kind of leverage and manipulate things that way. You can re-carve where it's going. It'll take a while to dig and channel it around, but the water will find its way out and go out.
Should we do some river damming?
Yeah, let's look at one more thing before we do that. Let's take a look at the ranching setup in here.
Oh yeah.
So I've got 2 pastures. So I'm running in advance. So this is my ranching kingdom. So these people live off of the meat that they get from growing deer and the milk that they get from their cows. And so I've got males. So it's very important, by the way. Animals can breed now. They can yodel. They've discovered the fine arts of yodeling. They can breed. They will breed uncontrollably if you put them all in the same space. And so you need to be careful and segment, like keep your, I called them studs here. Keep your studs, your breeding crop, your breeding stock away from the rest. And otherwise, and then you can selectively move animals in there to be to become pregnant, to yodel, to become pregnant, and then breed. But then the other thing is, if you click on any of the animals, animals actually have genetics now. And so if we don't want to do leveling and all the stuff like mortals do, and instead we gave animals genes. And so if you hover over the genes to the right, it'll explain it a little bit. But basically, every animal is a little unique. Genes allow their mobility, their fighting ability, or their vitality affects their health, and how many products they'll produce. But you can basically breed them to move fast. You can breed them to fight well. You can breed them to produce extra products. And so this group, so my breeding program here is built for maximizing vitality. And so if you click, like all of the ones are plus some amount, plus 11%, except for the sheep. The sheep I haven't got enough yet, but I'm slowly over time breeding better and better cows and better deer. And then what I do on the left here is, as the animals grow up, they'll reach adulthood. When they reach adulthood, if their vitality is good enough for me to breed them, then I'll fire them off into the right pen, which you can do by just clicking on one of them and then right-clicking over into the other pen. And I'll move them over there so that they become my next breeding stock. If not, I'll mark them for slaughter and just take them out of the pens completely or leave them in that pen. And basically, over time, the vitality will get better and better. And if you click on two of the adult deer over there in the other one, so compare the amount of deer meat that you get from one of them to the other one. So this one has 18% bonus vitality, so 18 meat we would get. And if you click on the other one, 34 vitality yields 21 meat. And these are uncapped, by the way, although the progress will kind of slow down as you get further away. But basically, you can keep breeding them. They're yodeling!
Oh, it's happening.
You can keep breeding them and make better and better deer, make better and better cows, whichever ones you want to do. And then you'll get more meat from them. You'll get more hide from them. You can basically like go all in on my kingdom being a deer kingdom, my kingdom being a squirrel kingdom. All of them should be, depending on your ranching skill, depending on your cooking skill for butchering, they should be viable to sustain a whole colony on, provided you have enough. Like I think the way it's tuned with the uncapped skill levels and everything now, or the higher skill cap levels. Look at these squirrels. You can get up to like 60 deer will maintain a 20 mortal colony, for example, with maxed out cooking for maximum butchering and high yield from their breeding.
And so, and just to connect this with the animals, you've been using the water and the agriculture of the grass to produce the hay, essentially, for the straw for these guys.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so we're kind of self-sufficient in that regard. And if you wanted to get really fancy, you can actually grow the grass in there and they'll eat it. The other two farming plots over there are another way you can leverage water when farming. So the right one there, they're not marked right now because I'm off season for them. But the right one there, if you go down to the layer below, has no water coming in. So that one has to be watered manually. But the one to the right has water below it. And so it's still on a layer of soil above. And so if you compare the soil moisture on that one, yeah, it's like 15% on the left. And then over there, it's 50%. And so you get a decent boost to the soil moisture, enough to grow crops without having to flood it at all, without having to ferry water to it at all. And so, there's lots of different ways to kind of leverage these things
That's cool.
and interact with them. So yeah, should we dam this river?
Yeah, let's do it. Where should we dam it?
Well, so it's going to backfill and flood. I would not do it at the highest point. Do it somewhere lower.
The fish, they're going back to their spawning grounds, the salmon ladder.
That's right. They're swimming upstream. By the way, we should maybe real quick before we do this talk one brief moment about fish. Fish. So fish much like any of the other systems in Noble Fates, they fish spawn near other fish by they prefer to spawn near other fish. So if you overfish, it's going to take a long time for your population to come back. So it's better to we always want to reward like maintainable and selective fishing and selective farming and things like that. We like there being like a loop that rewards you for kind of making good use of the land. And
Yeah.
so if you discover a pocket of fish, forage, catch all the fish there, but leave a few of them behind, and they'll slowly backfill and repopulate that area over time. And you can actually use this, by the way, to control where the fish are at. So you could create a fish farm underground if you create like a deep pool of water, and then just every time you see surface fish, fish them, fish them, fish them, fish them. Leave the ones in the pool alone. Slowly over time, you'll start getting more and more of them spawning in the pool down there. Once it gets to a point where you're happy, start selectively farming that one, foraging that one, and you'll end up with a maintainable level of fish down there.
Delicious fish.
Can we flood this thing?
Oh yeah, let's do it. Maybe perhaps here?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's see. Maybe we'll do a little make life easy for us. Some walls, perhaps? Alright. Wow, this is a deep river down here. Actually, no, I am gonna cheat. Sorry. So sorry for everyone watching. Alright. Here we go. So, just gotta check and see kind of what that looks like there. Okay.
So one thing when you're trying to do this is that if any of the water can get through for a flowing river, it's going to consider it unblocked. And so you're going to, yeah, exactly. You want to make sure you block the ramps there. Yeah, sure. Hello. Welcome. I hope you like flooded Riverlands.
Yeah, we're about to have a lot of farmland things. Oh,
and
I see
so
the
you'll
flow's
notice
changing.
that the flow died to the right, so that's slowly going to drain. And then if you watch though, you can already tell that the water on the other side is slightly higher. And here comes the river backfilling. And so what happens is the lowest point raises, and then the top point comes down the river to meet it. And so it's going to raise to that point, and then we're going to start seeding. And what's cool is just like a dam, like the river wants to take the path of least resistance. So since our dam is only one level, like only at the max height of the water here, once it reaches the dam, it's actually going to go across the dam, and look, it reconnected the river. And we, generally the way that we approached kind of our water sim is we want to err on the side of you can get yourself into trouble with the water, but we want to give you ways out. And so if you end up with a flooded map, once the water makes it to the edge of the map, it's going to leave. And as well, in this case, unless you are actively trying to flood, you're going to end up. Ooh, interesting. You're going to end up with the water reconnecting once it comes over the dam. But what's cool is now that we've blocked the river like this, we can actually, I think you might be missing one on the right side. Oh no, you're good. So we can actually flood underground places. So there's a cave under my base. Do you want to flood that?
Yeah.
So there's this cave to the left, up straight up there. Yeah, let's flood this thing. So there's already some water in it, but let's flood it the rest of the way.
Yeah, I mean,
that's
we could.
My iron mine.
Oh. I almost want to pump water into it, but yeah, let's see. How should we get water in there?
There's already a channel of water heading that way underground. If you go down, go to the right. Yeah, there's already some coming. We don't have to flood the whole thing. Actually, let's do a cool one. So yeah, if you do visibility.
Oh yeah, I see what you're saying.
We're cheating, by the way. Don't do this. Reveal all. We're gonna show all the caves. Let's find a big cave. So look below your water there, or nearby the water. Let's find a cool place to flood. Like with multiple levels.
Ooh, this is pretty massive. Oh.
Yeah, let's flood it. Oh, look, it goes down even further.
Oh.
I love the way our cave system generates.
Oh my, well, holy crap. Wow.
Yeah, okay, where's the high point in this? Flood it from the high point.
Okay.
So find the highest point that connects to that in there.
Okay, let's see.
So I think it's that level right there. So if you dig from your... Oh, by the way, you'll see up there are flooded caves. So underground, if you don't have a river, like if you're in the arid biome, or if you're in the mountain biome and you didn't get a river, dig underground and you may find, you'll find caves that are full of water. So for this to work well, we probably want to block the river up here higher because there's so much space for it to fill down bottom still.
Oh, yeah.
Like the way the water fills, the river fills, is it's going to start at its lowest point and fill up, 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 up from there.
Right.
And so if we really want to get this party going up here, we've got to... Oh, look, we found another cave.
Oh my gosh.
That one's full of water though, so it'll fill up pretty quick.
Okay, but you're saying, oh boy. Listen, I'm just trying to flood the world and people are attacking me.
Yeah, so I would dam it just after that.
Okay, just after the
cave that you made. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you have a cap right there. Right, perhaps. Yes, yes, okay.
Shut the water off. So that water will slowly drain, and then your cave is probably flooding.
Aha, here it comes. We'll see if our people are alive by the time...
Oh, they got a catapult. Yeah, they'll handle it. They're fine. Yeah, so we're filling, and then it's going to finish filling that cave. Might take a minute.
I hear a catapult being constructed.
Cool. Yeah, here it goes. And we're going to come across.
Oh, that's cool. So it bridged it.
Yeah, let's dig all the way over there.
Oh, yes, of course. Complete our hydration of the mushrooms down here.
Yeah, it's just fun to play with. I always like playing with water. We wanted it to be kind of rewarding to, it airs on the side of gameplay and being maintainable so you don't overtly flood your base if you don't intend to. But yeah, if you dig down in here to the underground, you're going to flood this area. Now, what's super cool, Matt, is you can make an underground river this way. So like if you dig from, whatever, once this reaches a sufficient level of flooding for you to be happy, and you dig a path for the water to get out down here, it'll reach in equilibrium, and your river now will be diverted to run out to the edge of the map over here.
Gotcha. So I just need to keep digging out this way, huh?
Yeah, exactly. And you can go down in the slice, like you can leave the roof there and it'll just go under.
Yeah.
Go maybe down another slice or two. Oh, there's another cave over there.
Oh my gosh. Well,
yeah, just let the sim run for a few thousand years.
Yeah.
And we'll get there.
Oh, yeah, so what's going to happen?
If you run for a while, I mean, it's going to have to fill up.
Yeah, this is such a massive thing. This is so cool, though, that it's actually like flowing all the way from over here to this area.
Yeah, exactly. It's fun to play with. So, if you want to, if you don't have the river you want, you can make the river you want. And it's going to, over time, this water upriver here is going to slowly exit. It looks like actually it might have found a way out. We're still getting a pretty good amount of flow on the river. Oh, did we block the bottommost layer?
Nope. No. Well, great.
Our cave will flood much faster in a moment.
Okay. I think that's better.
Yeah, go in your cave now. You should really.
Oh yeah, the flow rate's way higher. Look at that.
Yeah, go check out the big cave. Did it already flood? Oh yeah, it's going in there. Look, it's already filling in here. If you go up a level or two, you should probably have some cool looking waterfalls now. I don't know what that hole in the ground is there.
Okay, here's
Oh,
a
I
cool one.
love the waterfalls. Neat. So that should fill quicker now if you let it run for a few. Is that hole going into another cave down there?
I think so, yeah. I think it's a whole other cave system down here.
Go down one more level. Oh yeah, look. Oh my gosh.
Okay, well, this is going to take a very long time to fill all of this, but...
Yes, so we'll leave yeah, so the water flow, by the way, the amount that you see when you hover over a tile, uh 78, 80 FL. So that flow to the right, that 77 FLs, that is the amount, actual how fast this will fill. So it's filling about one tile a minute. But we have a solution to this problem. If you go to the source of the river and dig it out, just make it really big, you're going to get more flow coming in.
Oh, okay.
Just widen the mouth of this river.
All right.
So it turns out that you are also in charge of what happens off of your map. So if you have inlets for the river like this and you dig it out, you can get more water coming in. Just make sure you have somewhere for it to go. And dig down deep too, because the lower levels produce more.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
How much flow is our river generating now?
All right. Oh my, yeah, we're at 228, 230. Way
Yeah,
higher.
so the cap is 500. So if you keep going, that cave is going to fill up even faster. And yeah, it extends all the way around, which by the way, you can leverage this to turn your whole map into an island if you want. As long as the inlet is connected, it's going to connect to the infinite water source on the other side of the map here to keep giving you more water. Just make sure you have somewhere for it to go or you're going to flood everything. And if it will never go up, by the way, our water sim does not pressure fill upwards. That's intentional to give a reliable way to not get yourself into too much trouble. And so what will happen is, how much flow are you getting now?
381.
380?
Pretty good.
Yeah, so go down to that cave now. It should be filling faster.
Oops. Okay,
oh, wait, did it go over our... It sure seems like it might have gone over the top of our...
Oh, the dam.
The dam.
Oh, it's close.
Did. Oh, no. Okay, cool.
It's close.
Oh, so it didn't. Okay, so we're good. Yeah, it just takes a while, There's a lot of cave down there. If you go to the deepest part, I'm just curious if we can see it.
So well, sorry, it is starting to flood.
Yeah, so what happened is where is our inlet?
Our inlet is right here. It's under right there.
Wait. Oh yeah, okay. So go down there. Is the flow the same at those deepest parts down there?
Let's see. We're at it's decreasing as we get further. So it's like 250 here, and then by the time it's here,
you know what happened? If you go up to
129.
the top level, did water find a way out of the map over there?
Oh, over here somewhere?
Yeah, like down to the left of your dam. If water finds a way out of the map here. Oh no, we're good. Huh. Oh wait, slightly up there? No, we should be good. We're good. Yeah, so the flow is happening. It's going to fill this cave up over time. I think it's getting dispersed because there's just so much different space for it to fill down here. But yeah, it does indeed seem like it thinks your water is leaving the maps. Oh wait, go to the left. Go behind you here.
Oh. Okay.
Is the water leaving over here?
Oh, it does kind of look like it.
Is it reaching the edge of the map?
I think so. I think that's...
I think the water's getting out over there somewhere.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Cave.
I think it's hard. Yeah, I mean, this is the edge right with the fog here.
How much flow is in there? Oh, you've got 383. Oh, sorry. The flow that's scaling in the... Yeah, you're getting your full flow. But I think it might be hitting the edge of the map here and leaving. Yeah.
My gosh, this cave system is so insane.
Yeah, this is fun. Cool.
Awesome. Well, do we have anything else left to share?
I don't think so. I think, I think it's pretty good.
This is a really fun update to work on. I'm really excited to see all the different bases that people build. I'm looking forward to all the like fountains and kind of like multi-layer waterfall stuff and water feature things that people build.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think it's fun. It's fun to do water features. You can do some fun stuff with it. We plan to do more and expand on it as we head into the station for 1.0. This is our last standalone feature update before we bite off the remaining work to drive to 1.0. And so, our plan is to bring all the features up to the level of parity like we have done with ranching and farming here, and add that last bit of polish. But yeah, this should be the perfect time to jump in now. Lots of fun. Oh, look, that catapult punched some holes in our base.
Yeah, I was gonna say, look at all this debris.
It looks like they did drive them off.
Yes, I think there's some
here
collateral.
But yeah, so this is the Riverlands update.
And with that, thanks everybody for watching. Bye.
All right, thanks, Matt.
See ya.